Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio by Preston, the sports cheetah, and our lost soul, Bryan Leonard's back from vacation. How you doing, Bryan? Glad to have you back.
Got a nice tan, didn't lose any weight, just about what I figured.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to do on this video, as we've been doing the last couple of weeks, we're doing some things where we're giving some more handicapping tips. We're dedicating one video to a concept. And this week, for this one, you're going to talk about alternative ways to bet the tournament. And good timing, seeing that we're on the eve of the big dance starting tomorrow. So we'll go ahead and let you have the floor, and we'll jump in if we got any questions for you.
Obviously, when you're playing the tournament, you're playing the 11 to 10. That's one way to play it. You could play first halves, you could play second halves, you could play in-game. Different ways to play the tournament. A lot of people like to play the futures a little bit. Who's going to win the tournament? In my opinion, you're not getting your full value. A lot of people like to play the long shots in here. Basically, what I would do if I was going to do that, instead of just getting the 40 to 1 on a certain team to play it, you're locked into that number. What I wanted to do is take that money and bet it to win the game and roll it over. This way you could play the games and you can get whatever lines you want from any of the casinos. So you're not stuck getting a lesser line, getting plus 160 when you can get plus 200 somewhere else, and just roll it over. And then if you see a matchup you don't like, you can always drop out and just count your winnings from there. With the situation you have now, because nobody knows who they're going to play in the next round, not all matchups are good. We've seen this before. And so this just gives you a better way to get out of it, and overall it'll pay you more money. So if you're looking to play a future, just bet the money line, and you can play it anywhere you want. And that's one of the things I take a look at. Now that I talked about first halves, there's a couple situations here. A couple of teams played late. They had 3 games. Kentucky was one of them. Connecticut was another. And they had to get out after they played. They had to go out on the road, travel back home, and then travel to another place. Connecticut's is even worse. They were playing in Des Moines, I believe. So if you like the opposite side in those games, I would suggest playing them in the first half, because the first half will count more towards the problem with the teams that have to travel. By the second half, they're in the game and they should be ready to go. So if you like the Colorados or you like the Stony Brooks, first half may be ways to play there. Another may be the second half. So if you've got a team, a lot of times a team will play close in the first half and the better team comes out in the second half and wins. The problem is they're going to jack up that line. So if you've got a team, a big favorite, let's say Kentucky's struggling in the first half, they're going to really pump up that second half line. So there's value on playing the lesser team in the second half that actually looks good in the first half, and that's something I do during the regular season, because everybody thinks coming out of it the better team is going to win. It doesn't always happen. In fact, number 1 seeds in the tournament overall win 78.5% all time. We all know 16 seeds win 0. In fact, the top 6 seeds are the only seeds that have ever won more than 50% of the time. So it gives you an idea on how that works. I talked about in the game a little bit. You see, if one team can't stop the opponent's guard, that's major. If he is able to come from the outside and get easy baskets to the basket, that's a team that's going to be in that game all along. Another is shooting 3-pointers. A team gets hot from 3-point land, any team can do. And you're able to look at that and say, okay, well, that's not going to happen all game long. Similar to, I'll bring it back to the MAC championship, Akron against Buffalo. Buffalo's a terrible shooting 3-point team. They shot really well in that game. So that's not something that comes around very often. So just different ways to play the game. And so you just don't have to go the 11 to 10, who's going to win against whoever.
All right, good stuff, Bryan. And we touched upon on the podcast last night that we did, Cheetah and Scott. This year, you got a lot more other things you can do. You can bet matchups as well, where you can take a team that's going to go farther. They'll put 2 teams together that are similar rankings, and they'll tell you, which one do you want is going to advance farther. So there's a lot of different ways to make money. Anything you want to add in here?
Absolutely. I was actually going to bring up last night, if you haven't listened to that Beat Vegas podcast, I think it's worthwhile. We talked about region futures versus actually betting the whole thing, and then those matchups. A couple that stick out in my mind, I think Cal was plus 210 versus Duke. Was one that I actually really liked. We talked over, there was a Miami one, they were plus 170 against Oklahoma. So you're getting almost 2 to 1 on some of these that I think are more like coin flips. So there's definitely some value to be had in some of those props as well when you're looking at the tournament.
Yeah.
As we always say, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, if you're looking at the props, a lot of people will play individual players over. You make a lot more money playing individual players under. And looking at the West region, to me, there's 7 teams that could come out of the West. So if you're looking for that long shot to roll over, I think the West is a good place to start.
All right, good stuff, guys. Be sure to check out Weekend All Access at WagerTalk. You can pick your favorite capper, get all of his plays the entire weekend, Thursday through Monday. And boy, what a jam-packed weekend it'll be this week with games in the mornings and in the afternoon and evening, all day long. Thursday and Friday, doubleheaders, and then, of course, Saturday and Sunday. Check it out, $69. Log on, pick your favorite capper, get everything for just $69 through Monday. We'll be back with more videos here at WagerTalk.com.